Good morning and welcome to another Nolte Lightning Talk. My name is Joshua Jenks and I work as the Nolte Care Manager here at Nolte. In my role, I manage our company's long-term support and development team. One of the unique elements of the work our team completes is the nature in which it arrives. Whether a simple support request or a more complex request for product improvements, service requests to our team get submitted via the Nolte Care Portal, which relies on JIRA Service Desk. To ensure our team completes our work and meets customer expectations in a timely manner, we utilize service level agreements. For my lightning talk this morning, today I will be sharing how I utilize JIRA query language to report actionable data for our team using JIRA dashboards. It's important to note that JIRA Service Desk does provide some default reporting to SLA performance. The data reported in these reports relate to tickets that have already met or breached their respective service level agreements. This data is not what I would describe as actionable. So what does make data actionable? Well, as a first step during my research, I checked with Google, of course. Okay, Google, define actionable data.
On the website techopedia.com, they say, actionable insight is a term in data analytics and big data for information that can be acted upon or
Okay,
information
Google.
that gives enough.
Stop. Clearly, even Google doesn't quite understand how to describe actionable data to mere mortals. Given the topic of my talk, I found the company Datamize provided the most applicable definition in a blog post from December 2018 titled The Main Characteristics of Actionable Data Insight. The 5 characteristics which stood out to me were: Number 1, alignment. Actionable data should always be aligned with your team's key business metrics. This helps tie data insight to business goals and strategic initiatives. Number 2 was context. All analysis requires proper context. Knowing how changes in data track to actual events, such as expiring SLA timers, provides necessary context to the information collected. Number 3 was relevance. Relevant data not only provides the most value, but it also drives the most transformative action within an organization. Number 4 was specificity. Specific achievable outcomes should be able to be established using the data. This way, everybody is informed about the expectations. Number 5 was clarity. Data needs to be presented in a manner that is easily understood and interpreted by its target audience. So once I better understood what data was actionable, I was faced with determining how to align the data recorded using JIRA Service Desk with our team's goals. The most critical factor for my team was to ensure that we understood how changes in data track to actual events and that we could set clear expectations in regards to how that data will be used. The first segment of actionable data I selected was issues awaiting first response. This data will help our team have visibility into any items which are pending a first response. This is important because our team aims to handle 100% of the first responses within SLA. The second segment of actionable data I selected was issues approaching the time to resolution SLA. This data will help our team have visibility into any items which are approaching the end of their time to resolution SLA period. This is important because our team aims to resolve 100% of issues within SLA. And the last segment of actionable data I selected was the current month count, the quarterly count, and the total for the year of breaches. This data will help our team have visibility into how we are performing during the current month and quarter. Additionally, the team can see, would ideally be able to see how they are tracking against previous quarters. This is important because our team aims to resolve 100% of issues within SLA. During my research, I found that many replies relating to JIRA Service Desk and SLAs directed users towards third-party extensions. While there are many really great plugins, I chose to avoid using any Atlassian extensions for a few reasons. One was simplicity. This was my first attempt at creating an MVP dashboard of the SLA dashboard, so keeping the solution simple was important. Number 2 was cost. The available extensions can be costly. Our team is small, and the pricing for the third-party extension would take into account all of the JIRA users for our company. And lastly was onboarding time. Since I already knew how to write complex JQL queries, learning how to operate an extension would have required additional time. Luckily, JQL can help with this. JIRA provides several functions relating to SLA reporting. The following 4 functions were most applicable to the data I wanted to display on my dashboard. The first was breached. This function filters out issues where the last SLA cycle has failed to meet its target goal. The second function was ever breached. This function filters out issues that have failed to meet their target goal, ever. The third function was completed. This function filters issues where the SLA cycle is complete, meaning the issue has reached one of their stop events. And the final function was running. This function filters issues where the current SLA clock is running, meaning the issue hasn't yet reached one of the stop events. There are some other functions, such as remaining and elapsed, that would take a bit more time to explain and may be better suited for another talk. So after I determined what data to collect and which functions would be helpful to get this information, I started building out my dashboard. The first step was to write the JQL. The JQL required to pull the actionable data that I wished to display. The second step was creating the filters in JIRA. This is required to pull in the data that you wish to display in your dashboard. And step 3 was creating the dashboard. Next, I will show you a bit closer look at how I created the SLA dashboard for my team. In order to focus on what I felt was actionable data for my team, I created 3 filters. The first was current month first response timer running. This filters out tickets which were created during the current month and currently have a first response timer running. The second was current month approaching time to resolution SLA. This filters out tickets which were created during the current month, have not ever been breached, and have less than 8 hours remaining before the SLA will be breached. And lastly, all tickets SLA ever breached. This filter pulls in all tickets regardless of the creation date which have ever breached the first response or the time to resolution SLA. This filter is used as a building block for our dashboard. Our dashboard will only display a portion of this data. Once I had my filter set, the next focus was on which dashboard widgets I would utilize for my SLA dashboard. I settled on these 3 gadgets. The first being filter counts gadget. This widget displays the number of issues which match the criteria of your JQL formula. Number 2, filter results widget. This widget displays the results of your JQL which match the criteria of your JQL formula. And number 3 was the issue filter formula gadget. This is actually from the Great Gadgets extension, which is a really great extension for displaying information on JIRA dashboards. This specific gadget is very similar to the filter counts gadget, but it also allows the user to sum up an issue field, although I did not use it in this way. So bringing it all together, once I was done planning what data I would like to display for my team, creating the filters and deciding on how I would like to display the data to my team, I built out the SLA dashboard. As you can see, the data is displayed in a simple manner, which anybody can quickly review and take action on. In the first section, highlighted in green, I combined the filter counts gadget with the data from the all tickets SLA ever breach filter. Since this data includes all tickets regardless of date, I further broke this data down chronologically, focusing on the SLA performance for the current month, the full year, and each individual quarter. This helps provide insight on the team's current performance along with how they are performing for the quarter versus other quarters. In the second section, highlighted in green, I utilized the issue filter formula gadget from Great Gadgets twice actually. These were combined with the current month first response timer running and the current month approaching time to resolution SLA to display the number of tickets which are at risk for having their respective SLAs breached. And in the third section, highlighted in green, I utilized the filter results widget combined with the current month first response timer running to display any tickets which are at risk of breaching their first response SLA. The second widget uses the same filter results widget but pulls in all tickets which have a time to resolution SLA timer running, regardless of when the ticket was created. In conclusion, while SLA reports in JIRA Service Desk can be confusing, using JQL and built-in SLA functions, you can help your team gain more clarity on how they're performing against SLAs. This concludes my lightning talk. Thank you for watching.